Om. गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। ॐ श्रीकृष्ण परमात्मने नमः। अथ श्रीमद्भगवद्गीता अष्टादशोऽध्यायः मोक्षसंन्यासयोगः। I think we had read till Sheshikas and summary we should read, right? I think we will read from Shankara's counter objection to the Mimamsakas. No, Brahmaraji told me Purva Mimamsakas neat plan.
You can start from here, summary of the Purva Mimamsakas lead plan.
Yeah. Summary of the Purva Mimamsakas neat plan. The whole argument of the Purva Mimamsaka is based on the assumption that the karma that I do now will neutralize the result of old karma, or that the old karmas get exhausted through the pain that is involved while performing these nitya karmas. Either way you take it, it does not matter for him. The old karmas are eliminated. The karma because of which this body has come into being will get exhausted by daily experiences. If you have a headache, one papa is gone. Daily experiences of pain and pleasure will take care of all the punya and papa. You need not do anything to exhaust this prarabdha karma. Just keep living and it will get exhausted. But you have to be very careful that you do not do any wrong actions or any action that will produce punya. By not doing any action that will produce an unseen result that has to be experienced at some time in the future, and doing actions to neutralize papas that have been accumulated in the past, you will get moksha, kaivalya without any effort. The karma that brought this body into being gets exhausted just by living. And when the body dies, the prarabdha karma is completely gone. The old karmas are cancelled by the daily and occasional rites, nitya naimittika karmas. And no new karmas are gathered because no prohibited actions, prayashchita karmas, and no desire prompted actions, kamya karmas are done. Therefore, there is no possibility of any more births. And this is moksha. This is the contention of the Purva Mimamsaka. Shankara's negation of the whole argument. All Shastra Pramanas say that there is no way for moksha other than jnana. This is all very interesting, but it is not tenable, and there is no basis for it. Which Shruti talks like this? Is there any means of knowledge, pramana for all this? On the contrary, the Shastra says, having known that he goes beyond death, there is no other way. Tam eva viditva mrityum iti. Ati amrityam iti. Tam eva viditva
Ati mrityum eti.
atimrityam eti. Knowing that Brahman as oneself, Pratyagatma, one goes beyond death, meaning one gets out of this samsara. Other than knowing this, there is no other path for moksha. Na anyah pantha vidyate ayanaya. This has to be said because there will always be people who conclude that there is more than one way. The idea that there are four paths is just imagination, as we have seen. In fact, some say that there are as many paths for moksha as there are human beings. This may be true with reference to religions and the aims of religions too, but not with reference to moksha, purification of the mind, antahkarana shuddhi, which is exactly what we are aiming at too, can be accomplished by various means. And so each one can follow his or her own particular religious form. Even in the same religion, one person will do some of the prayers and rituals, and another will do others. You can always choose what is suitable to you. For moksha, however, this is not the case. What was already unfolded as Brahman earlier in this statement in the Purusha Sukta as all this idam sarvam, what existed before, what will come later, and what is now. Yad bhutam yacha bhavyam has to be known as that which obtains in your heart, in your mind as the Atma. But it is not the Atma that is enclosed in this body, for all the heads are its head, all the feet are its feet, all the hands its hands. Knowing that one crosses death, he gains moksha. Why is there no other way? Because moksha is the opposite of bondage. If bondage is real, you cannot remove it because we define what is real as something that cannot be removed. If the Atma is bound and the bondage is real, you cannot remove it. If it is unreal, if it does not exist, you need not remove it. If you think it exists, then you have to remove it. And that removal can only be by knowledge. If you think you are bound, that thinking has to go, and it can only go by knowing. Stopping the thinking does not work. That is anesthesia. We have to understand that the thinking is wrong by understanding that Atma is one. Therefore, the Shruti says that there is no other path for this. Na anyaha pantha vidyate. Other than vidya, knowledge, there is no way for moksha. Not only does one Shruti say this, but many Shrutis do. It is said that moksha is as impossible for one who does not know Atma as it is to wrap oneself with Akasha, like a skin around the body. How will you do that? It is not possible. Thus, quoting this verse from the Shruti, Shankara says that it is just as impossible for the one who does not know the Atma to gain moksha. Not knowing the Atma, you will only gain sorrow and remain in samsara. The idea is that you can gain moksha without knowing Atma only when you can clothe yourself with space. In other words, it is not possible. Knowledge alone liberates. Not only that, the Puranas and Smritis also say one gains moksha by knowledge. By saying it in two ways, there is no room for misunderstanding. There is no moksha without knowledge, and by knowledge alone, moksha is gained. If he had said just that moksha is gained by knowledge, it may also allow moksha to be gained by karma. But then he says that by knowledge alone. But then he says that by knowledge alone there is moksha, and without knowledge there is no moksha. How can there be any doubt here? So the Purva Mimamsaka's argument is not supported by Pramana or Shastra. But here Shankara's is proving that with the support of Smritis and Puranas that only by knowledge there is moksha. And the further explanation, even accepting that Nitya Karma removes all papas, Sanchita Punya cannot be neutralized. Still, there is another problem. Accepting for the time being that all the papa karma can be exhausted by the pain involved in doing obligatory karmas Nitya Naimittika karmas, only the Papa karma standing in your account is removed. I repeat, even accepting that Nitya karma removes all papas, Sanchita punya cannot be neutralized. Still, there is another problem. Accepting for the time being that all the papa karma can be exhausted by the pain involved in doing obligatory karmas, nitya naimittika karmas, only the papa karma standing in your account is removed. What about the punya karma? That is also infinite. Even assuming that the Nitya karma is an antidote for the results of all the wrong actions that were done, which is a big assumption, the punya will be standing there unaccounted for. Just as there are infinite papa in the Sanchita karma yet to be exhausted, there are also infinite punya waiting to fructify. They cannot be neutralized by doing nitya karma. If at all nitya karmas can neutralize anything, they can neutralize only papa and not punya. It has to express itself, and therefore, being not exhausted will precipitate another birth. You will have to be born in Texas in the family of a tycoon. And even that will not take care of all of the punya. This punya will be expressed. It has to be encashed. Even the possibility of neutralizing all the papa karmas by obligatory nitya karmas was accepted only provisionally. That also is not tenable. For how long can one do these karmas? 50 years, 60 years, 70 years, 80 years? How can that neutralize all the papa that has been gathered in an infinite number of births? There is no way of neutralizing all of them with a finite number of actions. The exhaustion of punya, the results of which have not yet begun to fructify, is not possible in this birth either. Since they cannot be experienced now, there has to be another birth. Just as the exhaustion of previously gathered papa that has not begun to fructify is impossible, so is the exhaustion of previously gathered punya that has not begun to fructify. Their exhaustion is not possible without assuming another body, and therefore moksha is not possible. Except through jnana, it is impossible to remove raga, dvesha, and moha, the causes of dharma and adharma. There is another problem. According to him, I will not do any desire based action, kamya karma, or prohibited karma, prayashchita karma, and do only obligatory actions, nitya naimittika karma. In other words, I will not do any wrong actions, adharma, or meritorious actions, dharma. This is not possible. What is the cause for dharma and adharma? Why do I do these karmas? I do a wrong karma because I want a given result and I cannot get it by following the right means. If I do, I have to wait for 25 years and therefore I take a shortcut which compromises dharma. Or I hate someone and therefore I harm him. Both longing, raga, and aversion, dvesha, are the cause for adharma. Then there are false notions like insecurity and the problem of giving something more value than it has. Shobhana dhyasa, the idea that something or the other is going to solve my old problem is delusion, moha, and is the basis for raga dveshas, which in turn are the basis for right and wrong actions. In other words, kamya karma and pratisiddha karma. How can they be avoided when these raga, dveshas, and moha have not gone? And how will they go? The Purva Mimamsaka says that knowledge is not necessary, karma is enough. But how will delusion, moha go? Except by knowing that the self, Atma, is complete, Purna. I cannot negate moha unless I know what I am. Without knowing Atma, my insecurity will always be there, and therefore fear will be there, and naturally, because of that, raga dveshas. Because of them, I will do right and wrong actions. Therefore, this idea of not doing kamya karmas or pratisiddha karmas is merely an empty statement. I cannot accomplish that without knowing myself to be full, purna. Then alone can I avoid kamya karmas and prohibited karmas. Since the cause for these right and wrong actions, dharma, adharma, cannot be removed without self knowledge. The negation of punya and papa is not possible. Therefore, there is no moksha without knowledge. If you want me to repeat anything, please let me know. Shrutis and Smritis talk of punya as phala
Yes.
for,
Bela, Jai Gurudev.
yeah,
Can you repeat this where he talks of Kamya Karma and Raga Dvesha?
yeah. I will repeat this whole paragraph. I believe it is,
Yes.
yeah. Except through jnana, it is impossible to remove raga, dvesha, and moha, the causes of dharma and adharma. There is another problem. According to him, I will not do any desire based action, kamya karma or prohibited karma, prayashchita karma, and do only obligatory actions, nitya naimittika karma. In other words, I will not do any wrong actions, adharma, or meritorious actions, dharma. This is not possible. What is the cause for dharma and adharma? Why do I do these karmas? I do a wrong karma because I want a given result and I cannot get it by following the right means. If I do, I have to wait for 25 years and therefore I take a shortcut which compromises dharma. Or I hate someone and therefore I harm him. Both longing, raga, and aversion, dvesha, are the cause for adharma. Then there are false notions like insecurity and the problem of giving something more value than it has. Shobhana Dhyasa. The idea that something or the other is going to solve my old problems is delusion, moha, and is the basis for raga dveshas, which in turn are the basis for right and wrong actions. In other words, kamya karma and pratisiddha karma. How can that how can they be avoided when these raga dveshas and moha have not gone? And how will they go? The Purva Mimamsaka says that knowledge is not necessary. Karma is enough. But how will delusion, moha, go except by knowing that the self, Atma, is complete, Purna? I cannot negate moha unless I know what I am. Without knowing Atma, my insecurity will always be there, and therefore fear will be there, and naturally, because of that, raga dveshas. Because of them, I will do right and wrong actions. Therefore, this idea of not doing kamya karmas or pratisiddha karmas is merely an empty statement. I cannot accomplish that without knowing myself to be full purna. Then alone can I avoid kamya karmas and prohibited karmas. Since the cause for these right and wrong actions, dharma adharma, cannot be removed without self knowledge, the negation of punya and papa is not possible. Therefore, there is no moksha without knowledge. So beautifully, Shankaraji has proved that it is only through knowledge there is moksha. Because our antakarana will not be shuddha due to raga dvesha, and we will continue to do those kamya karmas and prayashchita karmas without realizing that we are complete.
Also, the basis of raga dvesha is the moha, is the delusion that I am not complete. And therefore, you go seek to do things you like and avoid things you don't like. That is one. One is moha, the other one is the shobhana dhyasa, that this money is going to give me happiness. So you superimpose, yeah. So the shobhana dhyasa again is part of moha, which is the root cause of ragadvesha, which is why we do either dharmic actions or adharmic actions. Now, here the Purva Mimamsaka is saying we will avoid doing kamya karma and avoid doing pratisiddha karma. But how is that possible if this moha is not removed? That is why he says these are empty. It's like an empty dream, empty statement. Every action has a desire backing it. And if that desire is not born out of, if it is born out of this moha, then how is it that you're not going to do kamya karma or pratisiddha karma?
Where does it say it's empty statement? I didn't see that.
The last one, he says,
There is no moksha without knowledge.
no, therefore, this idea of not doing kamya karma or pratisiddha karma is merely an empty statement.
Oh,
It,
yeah.
I
Got
cannot
it.
accomplish
Okay.
that without getting rid of this moha and without getting the knowledge that I am Atma, I am full.
Purva Mimamsa says that knowledge is not necessary, karma is enough.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that is their argument. But whereas Shankara is negating
Yeah. So all of this is Shankara's
this.
negation.
Yeah, but then how he is doing that is that all along we've been thinking, oh, how can they not do kame karma or pratisita karma? Like it's if you know that you are the self is atma, and I mean the self knowledge. Without that, that people have this moha, right? Moha, the shobnadhyas, the value you put more than what it is. Like uh, like like right now, you think, oh, having this dress is so important to me, so you put more value on the dress than yourself. Then that's a delusion. Just again trying to understand myself. Thank you. So uh, to do this false uh, all these karmas, according to Purva Mimamsa, that's what it's going to be enough. But then, according to Shankara, that not going to help. No moksha without knowledge. Without the knowledge, there you cannot negate this punya papa. Is that's what he was trying to say? Is that right?
Without knowledge, yes. Without knowledge, there is no way you can get out of this moha delusion that I am the very basis for action is that you feel incomplete, you feel not secure. What the Purva Mimamsaka says, he says, all you have to do, because you're born with this prarabdha, to exhaust this prarabdha, you will have to live your full life. And how would you live it? By doing nitya naimitika karmas, by avoiding pratisiddha karma. That is the karma that is prohibited, you avoid doing. And you also avoid doing kamya karma so that you don't accrue any more punya.
Mm.
And he says, by doing nitya naimitika karma, you're
Mm.
exhausting all your papa
Papa.
because of the pain that it takes for you to keep doing the nitya naimitika karma.
Mm.
But then Shankara's
Shankara,
objection is,
yeah.
he says, what about the punya that you have? What about the sanchita karma? What about all that punya that you've accrued? Unless you exhaust that, you have to, any karma will give a result, and that is, you have accrued it over so many lifetimes. How are you going to exhaust that? You have to take so many more births. So where is moksha? So according to the Purva Mimamsaka, knowledge is not required. You just live your life, exhaust your prarabdha, and then that is moksha.
Mm.
Because you're not getting any more papa karma, because you're doing only nitya naimitika karma, no pratisiddha karma, and you are not doing any kamya karma, so no more punya is there. He is only very limited in his telescopic in his outlook. He's not thinking about the past, about the
Right.
sanchita karma. So
That's
Shankara
how,
brings in the
yeah.
No, again,
Quick
uh,
question here. How can they be avoided when these raga, dveshas and moha have not gone? Right?
mm,
And
mm,
that was another question was asked by him, right? By
mm,
Shankara. If
mm.
you haven't really um, get rid of mm, this, how are you going to get rid of this raga, dveshas, moha have not gone, then how are we going to avoid all these karmas?
See, ragadveshas are the basis of either dharma, dharmic actions, or adharmic actions.
Mm. Raga, dveshas, right.
It's
And the
because you have
moha
a
is
raga, yeah,
moha is secondary to the sorry to the insecurity, right? That,
yes.
yeah, okay, got it.
but he is not understanding that if he does the naimitya karmas daily, he will accrue the punya also, no? Again, you are in that samsara only, again. You'll get the result.
Naimitya karma according to the Veda, right? That is like the
Yeah,
Kitir
whatever it
karma.
is, you will get the punya.
No.
That is
Even
also
punya-
another point. That is also,
you see,
Nitya Naimittika karmas will accrue. Any karma will accrue a result.
accrue the, whether it is punya or papa. Anyway, you will be again in the samsara.
Even though it is not, yeah, that's right. We read it in the previous paragraph where even though Veda doesn't say that there is a result, assume that it's a good result, like punya. It doesn't accrue papa if you do nitya naimitya karma. That's what we read earlier. Sorry. Yeah.
There for samsari. See, that is there for samsari. Punya and this one.
We have
Punya
to
is
do
better than the papa. That is okay. But
Yeah.
cleaning of mind, cleaning and all that is needed for further. So we should not accrue both even punya and also the papas. So akarta, it has to be no karma at all. When jnana dawns, there will be no karma. Even if you are doing the karma, it is just like a dry seeds, it will not fructify. You have to just wash your prarabdha karma and all. That is a Shankara's.
Yeah. Shall I read further? So only Jnanena moksha.
Yeah, that is one. And Shankara says he gives he quotes Pramana, Shastra, Smriti, Purana, na anya vidyate ayanaya. So he talks and he says, having known that, so there is a lot of pramana from the Shastra that mentions that knowledge is the only means. And there was one statement earlier which said there are several means of getting antakarana shuddhi. To each his own, the way he wants to get his antakarana purified. But finally, the final step is only jnana. So the fact that there are 4 paths, karma yoga, bhakti yoga, jnana yoga, all that is a misnotion. It's a notion. It's finally the final step is only jnana. Because that is a fundamental problem, that we have superimposed our limited nature on our unlimited actual essential nature. And very logically he brings down and he says, no, how can you say only through karma you will attain moksha and knowledge is not required?
According to the Purvamamsa, there's no knowledge, right? I mean, they're not even talking about Atma.
Correct. Only karma and the pain which you go through while doing karma, they believe that it will.
I don't know, it was part of, you said that was before Vedic period, right? When the Purvamamsa.
No. It is in the Vedic period only.
Oh, okay.
See,
So that means they were
Purvamimamsakas
more
the karma
concentrating on
kandis.
karma. Yeah. So they
Karma
weren't
Kand.
going to Vedanta part, maybe that's why.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bela,
Karmatha.
yes. Bela, can I request you to read the previous paragraph and this one more time? The previous paragraph which says,
This one, even accepting that Nitya
yes,
Karma,
yes, please.
or before that.
No, that is fine.
Okay. Even accepting that Nitya Karma removes all papas, Sanchita Punya cannot be neutralized. Still, there is another problem. Accepting for the time being that all the papa karma can be exhausted by the pain involved in doing obligatory karmas, nitya naimittika karmas, only the papa karma standing in your account is removed. What about the punya karma? That is also infinite. Even assuming that the Nitya Karma is an antidote for the results of all the wrong actions that were done, which is a big assumption, the Punya will be standing there unaccounted for. Just as there are infinite Papa in the Sanchit Karma yet to be exhausted, there are also infinite Punya waiting to fructify. They cannot be neutralized by doing Nitya Karma. If at all Nitya Karmas can neutralize anything, they can neutralize only Papa and not Punya. It has to express itself, and therefore, being not exhausted will precipitate another birth. You will have to be born in Texas in the family of a tycoon. And even that will not take care of all of the punya. This punya will be expressed. It has to be encashed. Even the possibility of neutralizing all the papa karmas by obligatory nitya karmas was accepted only provisionally. That also is not tenable. For how long can one do these karmas? 50 years, 60 years, 70 years, 80 years? How can that neutralize all the papa that has been gathered in an infinite number of births? There is no way of neutralizing all of them with a finite number of actions. The exhaustion of punya, the results of which have not yet begun to rectify, is not possible in this birth either. Since they cannot be experienced now, there has to be another birth. Just as the exhaustion of previously gathered papa that has not begun to fructify is impossible, so is the exhaustion of previously gathered punya that has not begun to fructify. Their exhaustion is not possible without assuming another body, and therefore moksha is not possible. Except through jnana, it is impossible to remove raga, dvesha, and moha, the causes of dharma and adharma. There is another problem. According to him, I will not do any desire based karma, kamya karma, or prohibited karma, prayashita karma, and do only obligatory actions, nitya naimittika karma.
I think that is
Hari
pratisiddha,
Om.
not prayaschitta karma.
Hari Om. What inference did we do from this the, punya?
It's
Like,
prayaschitta karma only. Okay. No, sorry. Go ahead, Savitaji.
no, I was asking like about the punya, like how will that neutralize? How can we neutralize the punya? Because they'll be standing there, no? For that.
No, that is the
that-
question. No, that is
That is the
Shankara's
argument.
question.
That will be by jnana only.
That is
No.
Purva Mimamsakas.
No, the punya phala will be neutralized only by jnana. Then only it becomes a dry seed. It will not fructify.
But how?
Exactly.
Like, both,
That
right?
is what-
Both Papa and Punya, all of that would be burnt by only the
Jnana.
Papa is neutralized by undergoing your Nitya Naimitya karma and all your karmas, basically. But
But it's
Punya,
not going to exhausted all the things, right? Only that one.
by Jai Gurudev, by giving up doership.
yeah.
Yeah, that is
one of
jnana,
the-
no,
this
again.
is one of the- Yeah. Kartritva bhava, that has to be dropped.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is jnana.
Right. Yeah, thank you, Mrinalji, for recollecting here. The doership has to be dropped. Then only Punya can be like you. It will be basically neutralizing our Punya also.
Yeah, correctly told. That's what. I am not the doer.
I'm not the doer, and also whatever.
Bhokta, no bhokta, no
Yeah,
karta.
yeah, not bhokta also. Like whatever you are doing, you do not expect like whatever the result is there. You are not.
No, when you accept the
Enjoying
things, when you accept the thing, whatever situation and the person, then you are not the doer. And not the bhokta also. Whatever it is, accept it. That's it. Whatever result. All this karma yoga will come there. That is leading to the jnana.
When you accept things and you're in the state of accepting the result as it is, what you are getting out is of your ragadveshas. So there
And
is
also-
that antakarana shuddhi happening.
Yeah.
But there is still that the kartritva bhavana is still there. It is not gone completely.
Yeah.
See, for a karma yogi, there is that trace of kartritva. That is why you're doing action. And he still has not got the knowledge that he is not realized. That is the stark difference between a sannyasi, a vidvat sannyasi, and a karma yogi who is a sadhak, right? Who is still on the path. So finally, it is that knowledge that I'm a total akarta. That is the knowledge. That is, for a karma yogi, he is still work in progress. So by accepting things, not seeing intention, all of that is only bringing you to a state of clean antakarana. You're cleaning up your ragadveshas. But that moha, that delusion that I am this limited body, I am this jiva, that has to go. It is only through atmajnana. Because when you say, I accept things as they are, or I don't see intention, who is that I you're talking about? Who is that I? You're still identifying yourself with your body, mind, intellect, no? So we have to go,
Again-
like Maharshi
Again,
keeps
Dvaita
asking.
Bhava. Dvaita
Yeah.
Bhava will be there.
Dvaita
yes.
is there. There is a slight Dvaita Bhava there.
Hmm.
You are in a very calm state, correct? But have you realized that you are that the small I and the big I have merged? No. There is still that small I. That I is still lingering on. So for that, Ramana Maharshi says, keep asking, who is that I? Go deeper. Who is that I? Who am I? And for that, we require Shastra Pramana, we require this Manana, Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana, and of course the grace of all of them, Atma Kripa, Shastra Kripa, Guru Kripa, and Ishvara Kripa. So all of that is required. So can we go back to this paragraph and read this one, Bela? Where you can continue from where you ended.
Yeah, you said this is not prayashchita karma. That I was
But
confused.
yeah, I think that's a typo. Because see, prohibited karma, maybe they meant kamya karma, prohibited karma. Maybe that's a typo, because prohibited karma is pratisiddha karma. Prayaschitta karma is the karma that you do as a solution to reverse some of the papa karma that you've done. So I think there must have been a typo there. No problem. We'll continue.
Okay.
Because in the earlier paragraphs, he's mentioned pratisiddha karma is
No,
action.
in earlier also, I think he said the
Yeah, it's a
pratisiddha.
prohibited karma. That's a prohibited karma, like telling lies and stealing and all that.
Yeah, that is pratisiddha karma.
That's
So
a prohibited, like.
I think we'll skip that thing. No problem.
Okay.
You were right in reading it the way it was mentioned in the PDF.
Yeah. So it is pratisiddha karma. Okay. And do only obligatory actions, nitya naitika karma. In other words, I will not do any wrong actions, adharma, or meritorious actions, dharma. This is not possible. What is the cause for dharma and adharma? Why do I do these karmas? I do a wrong karma because I want a given result and I cannot get it by following the right means. If I do, I have to wait for 25 years and therefore I take a shortcut which compromises dharma. Or I hate someone and therefore I harm him. Both longing, raga, and aversion, dvesha, are the cause for adharma. Then there are false notions like insecurity and the problem of giving something more value than it has. Shobhana Dhyasa. The idea that something or the other is going to solve my old problems is delusion, moha, and is the basis for raga dveshas, which in turn are the basis for right and wrong actions. In other words, kamya karma and pratisiddha karma. How can they be avoided when these raga dveshas and moha have not gone? And how will they go? The Purva Mimamsaka says that knowledge is not necessary, karma is enough. But how will delusion, moha go except by knowing that the self, Atma, is complete, Purna? I cannot negate moha unless I know what I am. Without knowing Atma, my insecurity will always be there, and therefore fear will be there, and naturally, because of that, raga, dveshas. Because of them, I will do right and wrong actions. Therefore, this idea of not doing kamya karmas or pratisiddha karmas is merely an empty statement. I cannot accomplish that without knowing myself to be full Purna. Then alone can I avoid kamya karmas and prohibited karmas. Since the cause for these right and wrong actions, dharma, adharma, cannot be removed without self-knowledge, the negation of punya and papa is not possible. Therefore, there is no moksha without knowledge. Shrutis and Smritis talk of punya as phala for nitya karma. For it was said that by doing nitya karma, no result is produced. That also is not true. Those who do those karmas, the result of heaven, swarga. There are enough Shruti and Riti statements to confirm this. And there is even a rule.
One question, Dr. Pramara. Sorry, Dr. Balaji, to intercept. This question here, in the previous paragraph where you read, without knowing Atma, my insecurity will always be there. Uh,
Yeah.
That means
I want
how?
more and more, whether it is knowledge or power or money. We will continue to put our efforts.
See, without knowing Atma, without self-knowledge, there is this fear. When you're in the Dvaita Bhava, there is the other, there is fear. And out of fear, alongside fear is also this delusion that I am this limited self. Aham alpagyaha, kinchigyaha. Which is why, and you feel you're incomplete, you're insecure, which is why you have the fear. So in order to complete yourself, you start doing actions, different actions. You're going outwardly, and you think by gaining wealth, you will be happy and complete. That is the Shobhana Dhyasa that we are superimposing on wealth, on maybe real estate, on relationships, on whatever externally we do. It is only because of the thing that if I do this, I will be complete, I'll be happy. But is that true? That is only born of moha, of delusion. The fact is, Shastra says, you are complete. You are Satchidananda Atma. So, this delusion is born of the Shobhana Dhyasa. And then you have this Ragadvesha. From this, again, sprouts up Ragadvesha, likes and dislikes. I like to do this, I don't like to do this. And therefore, your actions are directed by your Ragadvesha. Which again is born of delusion. So the fundamental problem is
you don't know the Atma.
you don't know your true nature. That is why you're going out.
Exactly.
You're going
So
out into
even though we
going round and
talk
round in
about
cycles.
like when you die, the soul is going somewhere, but we actually didn't connect that this Atma part so far, in the sense. I'm thinking
He
about
has written
myself.
clearly, without knowing Atma,
No,
my
I know
insecurity.
now, but what I'm saying is we are all leading our lives like that all these years.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking that way,
We are
because
living our life like the Purva Mimamsaka.
yeah, so all of a sudden you woke up, oh, I know now Atma. Why didn't I know about Atma? No one, even in the whole world, we didn't stumbled upon this kind of knowledge before. I'm just surprised, I mean, nice that we came upon it now, but
That is also grace.
Skill
That
is
is the
there.
Adrishta Phala of all of us. The very fact that we're all here, it is not because of one person, two people. No. It is all the Adrishta Phala that all of us have done sometime in the past.
Yeah.
That is fructifying now. And we have this grace of the Guru, grace of the Shastra, that we are even able to connect like this.
Yeah, that is another thing I came to my mind when you say fructifying this punya or papa or whatever. why is it taking so long to fructify? It's just one of those
Because
That's
things,
a
your
right?
mystery.
vasanas are
That
Yeah.
is a
vasanas are so
mystery.
much. Hmm.
I think, rather than
I
going
know,
that
not
direction,
dwelling on it, but I'm
yeah,
just
I mean,
thinking
correct.
about it. It's just
It's a
curiosity, you know.
correct. It's a
How
question to
many
wonder
birds?
about,
How
Yeah, I
many
wonder about
lifetimes?
it. Yeah.
How many
which is
lifetimes we have gone through? No,
which
And
is
And
why
then
then,
Gurudev
vasanas
Krishna
are
says,
so
explained.
much ingrained
Hmm,
in us.
hmm,
So it is very, very difficult to clean it.
like we
Gurudev,
only because of this knowledge, how much we don't know, like that, it you wonder how much we don't know.
you think you know, but you don't know anything.
mm, which is
That's
what
how.
is, see,
Mm.
regarding knowledge of the ephemeral, the world, empirical world,
Yeah,
no amount of knowledge is complete because there will always
complete.
be some advances. The
Mm.
only knowledge that will complete you, make you feel fulfilled, that purnatva is self-knowledge. That
Yeah.
is why when you met, I'm not sure whether you can extrapolate it there, but when you finish your sadhana and your meditation, you feel
Mm.
very elevated. You're in that sattva
Sh-
mode, which
Yeah.
is one step before.
Mm-hmm.
It is not kaivalya there. It is not, but you feel that
Feel a little
fullness,
bit. Yeah.
that steadiness and fullness. But still, there is that layer of the karana sharira, the ajnana is still there.
Yeah.
That has
Yeah.
to go.
Mm.
That layer also has to go for us
So,
to feel that steady fullness that enlightened masters feel are in that space throughout 24 by 7, 365 days a year.
mm.
We are there maybe momentarily, partially
Mm.
covered by this layer of karmika mala. Like Gurudev talked of those three malas, Anva,
Mm-hmm.
Karmika, and Mayika mala. So that
Yeah.
Maya also has to go for us to feel where yam gatva nani vartante, tad dhama paramam mama. There is no point of return once you realize your true nature.
Realize it.
There is
Yeah.
no point of return. You don't come back to you feeling, oh, I'm miserable, I'm limited. No, you are
Mm-mm.
in that constant state.
Mm.
So that
Yeah.
is the whole goal, and the sadhana is
Yeah.
towards that.
Yeah. That's true. Mm.
And for that, tyage naikena amritatva manasuhu. So it is only by letting go, tyagena, let go of this notion that you are the body. And how is
Mm.
that? How are we getting that let go even? Because of knowledge. Because Shastra
True.
Pramana says all the
Mm-hmm.
Nirvana Shatakam, the whole thing, Mano Buddhya Hankara Chittani Nam, is nothing but knowledge. Where is
Knowledge, right?
karma coming in there? There is no karma
No.
there. No Nitya Naimitika karma will give you that thing that you're
Mm-hmm.
not the body, you're not the mind.
Mm.
So it is pure knowledge that brings you to that state.
So whatever we are doing, that we have to that kat, Katritva Bhavana is that I am not doing it.
Mm.
I have to think about
See,
thinking.
this does not mean we should let go of Nitya Naimitika karma. Just
Yeah,
because
yeah. Like
Purva
we are.
Mimamsa is being, uh, uh, shown his place, the Shankara's
Mm.
arguments, it does not
Mm.
mean, because at least when you're doing Nitya Naimitika karmas, the one thing that happens is Antakarana Shuddhi. Because
True.
you're letting go of your likes and dislikes, number
Mm.
one. Second,
Mm.
instead of doing something else which might lead you to some more papa and punya, you're
Wrong
at least doing
actions.
something which is ordained by the shastra
Mm.
that will cleanse your antakarana. And it is a
Yeah.
way of disciplining the mind, of preparing the mind. So
Yeah.
nityanamitika karmas, that is why if you ask Gurudev, some people ask, is doing puja and all important? Do I have to do? I don't have time. So he
Mhm.
says, yes and no. The answer is not direct yes or a direct no. Because in a way, none of this is required if you've attained that state at that elevated state. Like Ramana Maharshi and all of them, they never did any of these, no? But till then, if you are in kindergarten, you have to go step by step and then cleanse yourself. Be eligible to be able not to do all of this.
Yeah, true. Yeah, that was, I was like, when we're talking about this knowledge points, like a concept of this knowledge, I was thinking as we are, oh, today also we're going to read this. I hope I'm not getting confused here again between Purva Mimamsa and Shankara's thing. So
we are still in work in progress.
Right,
so we have to do all.
But I want to keep things straight, right? So, but it's a lot clearer today than yesterday, definitely. Because when
It's
you're
the
reading,
purpose of this Manana. No?
thank you, Dr. Ramaran, Surechi, everybody, Bella. It's nice.
I just want to share one very interesting example, although it may not be related exactly to the topic we are discussing. The encounter of Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa with Sri Totakacharya. Once they met and then he was talking about Atma Jnana and everything. And Ramakrishna was quietly listening. And then there was a security guard who came while there was a fire which was lit as a ritual, and then they were talking. And the security guard came and he wanted to burn his hookah, and he took that from that fire, he took that. And Totakacharya got so angry, and because it was very, very pious and very, very pavitra, they believe that Agni. And he got so angry, you don't realize this, what is. And then this security guard he was feeling very ashamed, and then he said sorry and left. But then Ramakrishna started dancing, and and then this Totakacharya said, "You are laughing, you are dancing." And he said, "You just now told me that there is Brahman everywhere, and you did not see Brahman in the security guard, and you got angry."
True. Yeah, the same
And he
thing.
realized, and then it is said from that day onwards, Shri Totakacharya, he never got angry. He said in front of that fire that this is a lesson, and I will never get angry.
How this ego kind of can act up so quickly, right?
He has known. All energy is the same energy. We are diverting anger, love, fear. Therefore, that we are doing the chakra meditation.
So this is also the difference between just having knowledge as a concept
Knowledge, yeah.
and vijnana, having it as your own. It is part of you. That was the difference between Ramakrishna. Bela, is it Trotakacharya? Trotakacharya is one of the shishyas of Shankara.
Yeah, of Sri Shankar. Correct. He's
Can you
Totakacharya.
just verify that, the name? Maybe I'm not.
Somebody else.
Was he?
Because Ramakrishna Paramahamsa is latest, no?
Just
Protakacharya
check that
was
out. I mean, it's not going into the details, but Protakacharya is maybe there was
Shishya of
another.
Ramakrishna. I know. Very learned and
Protakacharya was one of Shankara's disciples.
Yes.
disciple.
Yeah.
Who
But
was not.
Ramakrishna Paramahamsa is recent, no? How we can connect it?
It's okay, no problem. It's only a factual thing. Maybe you just
Yeah.
want to check the
Yeah.
name.
It is a good.
That's not a
Even
big.
we read in the Buddha, when the two disciples, he was taking Bhiksha, and he was told something to the fact that the disciple got mad, and Buddha didn't, I forgot the whole scenario there, and somebody remembers. Similar to that.
Yeah, we all kind of snapper. Immediately it comes up, right? Now we know, okay, we are not going to do that.
This disciple master thing about jnana is there was once there was a prostitute that required to be ferried across the river, and the master actually she's not able to. She needs help. She needs to be carried. So the master actually carries her and takes her across. And then the disciple is fuming inside. How can my master do such a thing? And then they go across the river. There, the master drops the prostitute, and they're walking further. This disciple is seething in anger, in confusion. What is this? How can my master do such a thing? He's so pious, and she's a prostitute. So then when he asks the master says, "I have dropped her long ago, but you're still carrying her in your mind."
Mind, yeah.
So
So,
the
Sarva Bhutastam Atmani, like
yes,
we have to remember that.
That is what Guruji says, no? Money and the sex should not be kept in the mind. It has to be kept where it is. Money has to be kept in the pocket, bedroom.
Shobhanadhyasa. Shobhanadhyasa. I see that playing a big role in everywhere, right? Money and power. So we have to remember it all the time that no looking down on anything or anybody or any of those stuff. Everybody is same, one and the same.
I think Bela might require to be relieved. If any one of you can read the remaining for about maybe 5-10 minutes, we can
I
close
can read it. Yeah,
5 minutes before. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Dhanyavad, Dr. Maya.
Sure.
This is the paragraph we have to
So
read now.
should I? Okay, you can screen it. Okay. Further, sorry, 1 second. I have to look at this. Shrutis and Smritis talk of punya as phala for nitya karma. You can hear me okay, right? Further, it was said that by doing nitya karma, no result is produced. Again, further it was said that by doing nitya karma, no result is produced. That also is not true. Those who do those karmas have the result of heaven, Swarga. There are enough Shruti and Smriti statements to confirm this, and there is even a rule that whenever there is Shruti injunction to do a karma and the result is not specifically mentioned, that karma should be understood to result in a better birth, Punya Loka Pala. Punya Loka Pala. The Smriti also says that those who are following the Varna and Ashrama Dharma, doing exactly what is to be done according to their situation in life, will also gain better lives, Punya Loka. There is no karma enjoined by the Shruti which does not have Punya as its result. The Shruti will not ask you to do it if there is no result. Again, the Shruti will not ask you to do it if there is no result. It is not that if you do not do it, there will be a negative result. Akarane pratyavayaka. But when it is done, it has a positive result called punya. Though there is no direct fault incurred, it is true that when you do not do your daily duties, you may be doing the wrong things. If you do not do the right action, it will not take time for you to do the wrong action. Therefore, you have to keep doing what is right in order to avoid what is wrong. Otherwise, there is laziness, which is the breeding ground for all crimes. Otherwise, I would read this again. Otherwise, there is laziness, which is a breeding ground for all crimes. Now, by avoiding all papa karmas and doing only nitya naimittika karmas, this person is under the impression that he is not getting any result. After death, do you know what will happen? All the devatas of those nitya karmas will be ushering him into heaven. He may protest that he wanted moksha and not heaven. But he will have to go because nitya karma, being a karma, will surely produce a result. How can you do a karma without causing a result? You can drop a stone in a pond without creating a ripple. You have to enjoy the karma phala. Excuse me. There is no other way of avoiding it except one. What is that? Knowing that Atma, the self, is not an agent, a karta. Then one is free of all karma phala. Is that what how much you want to read? The model of karma and the Adhyaropa Apavada method. Adhyaropa Apavada method. By this, the whole model is destroyed. This is called deliberate superimposition and negation. The superimposition is the Adhyaropa, negation is Apavada. You first say that Atma is a doer, Karta, and therefore gathers a lot of karma. Oh, you moved it.
I'm sorry, you are reading. Shamanta, are you?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm reading that paragraph. You first say that Atma is a doer, Karta, and therefore gathers a lot of karma, both punya and papa. He is a samsari and has to reap the result of all these punya papas by taking births in different lokas. Then of at the end of it, you say that in fact Atma was never born, never did anything, never performed any action, knowing that you are free from all karmas. The fire of knowledge burns all the karma to ashes. Jnanagni basmasat kurute. Jnanagni basmasat kurute. This is possible.
Bhasmasat. Bhasmasat.
Basmasat kurute. This is possible because they are all standing in the name of Mr. So and so, the agent Karta. And once the Karta is gone, there is no karma to be accounted for. There is no karma to be accounted for when Karta is gone. This is called Adhyaropa Apavada. So one is superimposition, second one is you're negating it. And the Karta is not there, then there is no karma. The model of karma has its own logic and it is believable, but it is only a model. We are not stuck with it. In the end, we dismiss the whole thing. The agency, kartrutva, is dismissed and thereby all karma, including the sanchita karma, is gone. All karmas are gone. Even the prarabdha karma is gone because from the standpoint of Atma, there is no prarabdha karma. Okay, from the standpoint of Atma, there is no prarabdha karma. From the standpoint of the body, there is prarabdha karma, but Atma does not have any body. It is Satchit Ananda Brahma and therefore has no karma at any time, neither what has accumulated in past lives, Sanchita karma, nor what was accumulated in this life, Agami karma. It is the very basis, adhisthana, of all karma, not affected by any karma at any time. Even doing actions, Atma does not perform any action. Kurvan api na karoti. Hearing it does not hear. Shrunvan api no shrunoti. Seeing it does not see. Pashyan api na pashyati. Atma sees everything but can be seen by no one. This is the nature of the Atma. It performs no action, and knowing that is the only way to get rid of karma. So, this paragraph, maybe we should repeat it.
We can read tomorrow.
Repeat this paragraph.
Yeah, are you okay to continue, Dr. Mara?
Yeah,
Or
I can continue. So
yeah.
we are not doing Manana after this, right? I mean, we have 7 minutes more. The model of karma and the Adhyaropa Apavada method. By this, the whole model is destroyed. Okay, by this, the whole model is destroyed. This is called deliberate superimposition and negation, Adhyaropa Apavada. You first say that Atma is a doer, karta, and therefore gathers a lot of karma, both punya and papa. He is a samsari and has to reap the result of all these punya papas by taking words in different lokas. Then at the end of it, you say that in fact, Atma was never born, never did anything, never performed any action, knowing that you are free from all karmas. The fire of knowledge burns all the karma to ashes. Jnanagnihi pasmasat kurute. This is possible because they are all standing in the name of Mr. So and so, the agent Karta. And once the Karta is gone, there is no karma to be accounted for. This is called Adhyaropa Apavada. You want to move up, Balaji? Going on to the next paragraph. Yeah. The model of karma has its own logic and it is believable, but it is only a model and we are not stuck with it. In the end, we dismiss the whole thing. The agency, kartrutva, is dismissed and thereby all karma, including the sanchita karma, is gone. All karmas are gone. Even the prarabdha karma is gone because from the standpoint of Atma, there is no prarabdha karma. I'll read this line again. One, even the prarabdha karma is gone because from the standpoint of Atma, there is no prarabdha karma. Right. From the standpoint of the body, there is prarabdha karma, but Atma does not have any body. It is Satchit Ananda Brahma, and therefore there has no karma at any time. Neither what was accumulated in past lives sanchita karma, nor what was accumulated in this life, agami karma. It is the very basis, adhisthana, of all karma, not affected by any karma at any time. Even doing actions, Atma does not perform any action. Kurvan api nakaroti. Hearing does not hear. Shrunman api nashrunoti. He seeing it does not see. Pashyan api na pashyati. Atma sees everything but can be seen by no one. This is the nature of the Atma. It performs no action, and knowing that is the only way to get rid of karma. So I don't do anything. That's very nicely said. How burning all that's the karma, prarabdha karma, and agami karma, everything.
See, for the Atma, there is no prarabdha karma. Only
Right.
for the body it is there.
Yeah, that's what it said.
So
Right?
we have the body. If Jivan Mukta has the body, he has to go to the prarabdha karma.
Right. He has to go through this birth and then
Yeah.
restatement of the contention of the Purva Pakshi. So should we read this? Okay, we'll read. See, I don't know how much it is. No pala is
I
told.
think we
in the
can
Shruti.
stop here today, maybe.
Okay.
We'll
That's
stop
what I
here.
want.
Just note down the number page. That's 413.
4:30.
So we can start from here
We will
tomorrow.
continue from 413 or 412.
Yeah, you
Um,
can go from 412 tomorrow to get the train of thought, and then we'll continue.
Yeah. Okay. Then.
Om Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Tat Sat Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Jai Gurudev.
Are you screening any Bhagwan Satakam or something?
Yeah, Brahmagyan.
Are you screening it, biology?
असङ्गोऽहं पुनः पुनः सच्चिदानन्दरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः नित्यशुद्धविमुक्तोऽहम् निराकारोऽहमव्ययः भूमानन्दस्वरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः नित्योऽहं निरवद्योऽहम् निराकारोऽहमच्युतः परमानन्दरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः शुद्धचैतन्यरूपोऽहम् आत्मा रामोऽहमेव च अखण्डानन्दरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः प्रत्यचैतन्यरूपोऽहम् शाम्भोऽहं प्रकृतेः परः शाश्वतानन्दरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः तत्त्वातीतपरात्माहम् मध्यातीतः परशिवः मायातीतपरञ्ज्योतिः अहमेवाहमव्ययः नानारूपतीतोऽहम् चिदाकारोऽहमच्युतः सुखरूपस्वरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः माया तत्कार्यदेहादि मम नास्त्येव सर्वदा स्वप्रकाशैकरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः गुणत्रयव्यतीतोऽहम् ब्रह्मादीनां च साक्ष्यहम् अनन्तानन्दरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः अन्तर्ज्योतिस्वरूपोऽहम् कूटस्थः सर्वगोऽस्म्यहम् सर्वसाक्षिस्वरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः द्वन्द्वादिसाक्षिरूपोऽहम् अचलोऽहं सनातनः सर्वसाक्षिस्वरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः प्रज्ञानघन एवाहम् विज्ञानघन एव च अकर्ताहम् अभोक्ताहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः निराधारस्वरूपोऽहम् सर्वाधारोऽहमेव च आप्तकामस्वरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः तापत्रयविनिर्मुक्तः देहत्रयविलक्षणः अवस्थात्रयसाक्ष्यस्मि अहमेवाहमव्ययः दृग्दृश्यौ द्वौ पदार्थौ स्तः परस्परविलक्षणौ दृग्ब्रह्मदृश्यं मायेति सर्ववेदान्तडिण्डिमः अहं साक्षीति यो विद्यात् विविच्यैवं पुनः पुनः स एव मुक्तः स विद्वान् इति वेदान्तडिण्डिमः घटकुड्यादिकं सर्वं मृत्तिकामात्रमेव च तद्वद्ब्रह्म जगत्सर्वम् इति वेदान्तडिण्डिमः ब्रह्मसत्यं जगन्मिथ्या जीवो ब्रह्मैव नापरः अनेन वेद्यं सच्छास्त्रम् इति वेदान्तडिण्डिमः अन्तर्ज्योति बहिर्ज्योतिः प्रत्यग्ज्योतिः परात्परः ज्योतिज्योति स्वयं ज्योतिः आत्मज्योतिशिवोऽस्म्यहम् ज्योतिज्योति स्वयं ज्योतिः आत्मज्योतिशिवोऽस्म्यहम्